Okay, got it. Okay, so recording has commenced. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this third session of season 2 of A to Z of karaoke singing. Nice to see you all logging in much before. Shows perhaps your enthusiasm and interest in the subject. And of course, who doesn't want to sing, right? So we are really so lucky. As I always keep on saying, we need to count our blessings that we are really born in this age and stage of our lives where we are able to access karaoke tracks which are made by some of our very good friends on the net. They are able to reproduce the original music almost to be so authentic, and we are so lucky that we can have this music to sing to, and you know, fulfilling our passion, fulfilling our lifelong ambition to sing. All of us need not necessarily sing on the stage, but I think we have that confidence. We love to kind of attain some soul satisfaction, as somebody said the other day to me. We all like to satisfy our soul, you know, by doing things which we have always wanted to do. And really, it doesn't matter whether you really sound like Mukesh or a Hemant Kumar. You don't know. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. And yes, of course, since it's a community that we have formed, a wonderful community where we share and care for each other, I think we are open to criticism. We are open to suggestions. We are open to suggestions for improvements and things like that, so that we get better from where we started. That's it. I think that's the simple philosophy behind all these programs. And like the famous Japanese principle of Kaizen. Kaizen means one improvement, small improvement per day. I think if we can make one small improvement per day, we are on the road to progress. There is absolutely no problem. And we are all here. We all need to pool our knowledge. We all need to pool our experiences so that we can help each other. And I think that's the purpose of creating this community. So welcome once again to session 3. So here what we are going to do or talk about is some do's and don'ts for singers. So all of you can chip in. All your suggestions are welcome, because no one is absolutely right. We may not get everything right ourselves. So it's all a question of one's experience. But I do have a few principles that I have, let's say, thought over and evolved over a period of time out of experience, which I am wanting to share with you. So some of these are what I call as simple mantras, right? So before that, let me just treat you to a small hope the audio is clear now. Ravi? चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे, कजरा ना बह जाए रोते रोते, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे। बाबुल पछताए हाथों को मल के, काहे दिया परदेस टुकड़े को दिल के। दिल पछताए हाथों को मल के, काहे दिया परदेस टुकड़े को दिल के। आंसू लिए सोच रहा दूर खड़ा रे, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे, कजरा ना बह जाए रोते रोते, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे। ममता का आंचल, गुड़ियों का कंगना, छोटी बड़ी सखियां, घर गली अंगना। ममता का आंचल, गुड़ियों का कंगना, छोटी बड़ी सखियां, घर गली अंगना। छूट गया छूट गया छूट गया रे, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे, कजरा ना बह जाए रोते रोते, चल रही सजनी अब क्या सोचे। दिस इज
बहुत ही टचिंग सॉन्ग,
बहुत ही टचिंग सर। बॉम्बे का बाबू, वंडरफुल वंडरफुल पिक्चराइजेशन ऑल्सो फैंटास्टिक। नहीं बट ये पर्पस ये था, ऑब्जेक्टिव वाज टू tell you that there are songs where the mukhda can be very very bass, typical of Mukesh, but then the antara is exactly 2-3 steps above, so
yes,
we really need to, without much hassle, we should be able to take the antara without much hassle, in a seamless fashion almost, right? So there are a lot of such challenges in while singing, and so therefore it's very important for us to completely understand and internalize the song. यानी 100% उसको समझना, यानी कहाँ पे ये BGM का ये होता है, what are the nuances in between, is there any space for breathing or taking a quick breath and then catching up to the next line where you may have to go on a higher note, etc. So I was talking to this music director friend of mine who lives on the 4th floor of my house, of my apartment here in Chennai. And so he was telling me on Monday when I met him in the afternoon for a chat that a song, a typical film song, whether it's any language, it has drama. The song itself has drama. The song has emotion. And of course, the song will have melody. And at the same time, the singer has to combine all this, understand the picturization or the context or the situation as the director of the movie calls it, and then try to give that feel, which is what only the singer can give. The music director can tell you everything कि ये रागा है, यहाँ पे ऐसा एक क्या बोलते हैं उसको फिराना है वगैरह, and all kinds of things he may tell you. He may even tell you, I will help you with the help of orchestra or some prompt in terms of some chord or whatever. But finally, what the singer does is what he does. And that's why we have Rafi Saab, we have Kishore Kumar Sahab, we have Mukesh, we have Hemant Kumar. And we are so lucky, as I said, right? So then, what are some of the, what shall I say, do's and don'ts for singers, right? So, incidentally, I was also telling you in the last session that I was also being interviewed by some online blogging website, and they were asking me, sir, but karaoke तो आपने बता ही दिया, लेकिन what is the real difference between karaoke singing and orchestra singing? So I told him, boss, I have to give you my famous statement or my famous analogy or my famous example or my famous illustration. And since I come from Bombay, I did all my schooling and college in Bombay. Yeah. All my schooling and college in Bombay, we have been commuting only in electric trains, suburban trains, right? So what happens? You have to catch that 8:15 local, come what may. Because if you don't catch that 8:15 local, which could be a semi-fast or a fast local or whatever, it may skip a few stations and reach VT station, and then from there you have to walk 15 minutes. If you don't catch that 8:15 local, you are going to be late to office. As simple as that. ठीक है ना? So, while an orchestra which is behind you on the stage can adjust and accommodate and adapt to your scale, to your tempo, and to your problems, let me put it that way, because we all have problems while singing, right? So they adjust to you, because then they can lower down the tempo, or they can increase the pitch or something, adjust the the guitar chords or something like that. They will be holding it such a way that they will actually adjust to the lower scale you may be singing, or the higher scale by mistake you may be singing, etc. But the challenge in an karaoke is that nothing will adjust to you. You have to adjust to the karaoke track, which means it is like catching a running train in Mumbai. And catching the running train, how do we catch the running train? We hang with holding the handle, one leg will be outside, one leg will be inside the train, then some 2-3 people hopefully will pull you inside and take you inside safely. Otherwise you will go hanging, then you will say, अरे भाई साहब थोड़ा सा जगह दे दो यार, हमको जरा घुसने दो. So then they will move a little, and then you finally get into the train. Now this is not how we should get into the track. We should get into the train like an expert. Assuming that the train is empty or the entrance of the train is empty, आप वो हैंडल पकड़ो जो बीच में स्टेनलेस स्टील का हैंडल देता है वो लोग, उसको पकड़ो, and then keep running with the train, right? First 2 steps you take with the train, and then jump seamlessly into the train, and then put your both legs inside, and you are smoothly into the train. Which means in a seamless manner we need to get into the track. And what happens while getting down? See, when Dadar station comes or VT station comes or whatever it is, normally there will be a staircase, right? There will be some 2 staircases. Now you may be in the second or third platform compartment from the engine or from the front, and the staircase will go behind. So uske liye aur 5 minutes chalna padega. So then what do? We stand at the edge before the station comes, and then seamlessly get down from the train, looking in the direction of the train's direction, and then seamlessly get in, turn around and run to the bridge, catch the bridge, go to VT or whatever, walk to your office, and you are in time. So my comparison is that karaoke track is like getting on to a running train, seamlessly without accident. But of course, this same analogy, my music director friend in the 4th floor tells me that it is exactly like takeoff and landing of an aircraft. I use the example of a train, but he used the example of an aircraft. He says, GD, just imagine if the aircraft takes off nicely, you don't even feel whether it has actually taken off. Because there is no jerk, there is no impact, there is no shaking, nothing. He just comes this way and then beautifully takes off, right? So you don't, while sitting there, you are not even aware that he has actually taken off the ground. What happens when landing? When it is landing, you don't even feel he has landed. Like some of the Emirates aircrafts and Singapore Airlines and all, they are known for their seamless landing, So you don't even feel you have landed. But there are aircrafts and airlines where you feel the thud and say, Arey, you are sleeping and you are woken up with a jerk. You feel there is an accident, but you open your eyes and thank God that chalo, kuch nahi hua, I am safe in the aircraft. So, takeoff, seamless takeoff without a jerk, and landing, seamless landing without a jerk, is what we need to do with the karaoke track. Bas. Because the audience is a very, very observant, very, very knowledgeable audience, even if they are your family members. Right? We are not talking about stage performance. We are talking about family and friend circle. Your audience is very knowledgeable, and even if they are not knowledgeable, yes, a wrong landing or a wrong takeoff can actually disturb anybody, because any normal person will be able to say that, अरे इनका landing ठीक से नहीं हुआ, right? So I think it's very important for us to remember that takeoff and landing. And so in the takeoff and landing, what is important, especially for takeoff? The counting of the tal, right? So normally, even in some of the tracks, I don't know to name who it is, they show you 4, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, and then straight away you can say Phoolon ke rang se, right? So you can just do that, right? So it is possible for us to sometimes count and say 1, 2, 3, 4, Phoolon ke rang se, right? You can easily take off that way, right? So sometimes the count, sometimes you can even count up to 8. You can in a very discerning fashion, you can even count up to 8. So you will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Phoolon ke rang se dil ki. So you can really, seamlessly take off in that sense. Of course, many tracks do also help you today. But sometimes this numbering will distract you and make you a little nervous also, because like our old Doordarshan ka jo film division ka jo chalta hai na, 8, 7, 6, 5, the number will come and then the documentary will come. So it can make you a little nervous also if one does get nervous, etc. Right? So this is one major mantra or tip, that remember the electric train and how do you get in without jerk and get off without jerk, right? Okay. Now, one second. Sometimes these computers start hanging, isn't it?
It's fine, sir. We can hear you, we can see you also.
No, I'm saying these computers, I'm just using a
Okay.
prompt as I write see, another thing I do even for my own songs, because not that we don't rely on our memory, but we need to have our lyrics in front of us. So even if you're using a video track, of course, or an audio track, like I mentioned in the last session, it is always important for you to keep your lyrics ready. And the lyrics should be according to the track. In the original, the antara may not get repeated, right? Like for example in Tum Hame Jano. Now in some tracks for this song, they are repeating the antara. Ye mosam ye raat, that antara, they will again repeat. Now, if you do not have your lyrics in such a way that you are indicating that it is getting repeated, you yourself will be surprised and shocked. And you may become a little nervous because the song has come not as per your plan, etc., etc. So I also use not only what I speak in these programs, I also use my text and narrative so that I don't go off the track to the extent possible. The second point I would like to mention today for tips for singers is to understand the track also correctly. Meaning that there are some tracks which are not good, there are some tracks which are slow, there are some tracks which are do not have the lyrics correctly, there are also some tracks which are not near to the original authentic music. So it's like a apologetic reproduction of the original. तो ये जरा ध्यान में रखना पड़ता है कि ट्रैक का जो क्वालिटी क्या है, and we should constantly be searching for good tracks, right? So I can see, for example, in front of me I can see a few of my friends. I am seeing that Madhusudan, for example, one of our participants, is noting down what I am saying. I mean, I am amazed. I hope I am right, Madhu. Fantastic. I am like that. I am also like that.
No,
He is noting down. Great, no? Really great. I mean, hats off
always
to such people. I mean, I am not able to see other people, so others may also be noting down. ऐसा नहीं है कि you all should note down. I am not saying that कि मैं जो कह रहा हूँ आपको note करना पड़ेगा. But it's a nice habit, These are all good habits which we have learnt all our lives, etc. Okay. The third point as far as tips for singers is that, as I told you earlier, the 4 pillars of a song. The 4 pillars of a song are scale, tal, scale यानी pitch, tal, the rag or the melody or the rhythm as we call it, or the melody बोलिए, and then of course the last one is the bhav, right? So bhav comes from you and melody is already there in the track, right? So you have to bring it in your singing now, right? So what is very important to when we look at karaoke tracks is to be correct in your pitching of the scale. Like I said, we have to always bowl a good length ball. You have to always bowl a good length ball. अगर short pitch delivery दे दिया तो मार खाए जाएंगे हम लोग, या फिर full toss दे दिया तो भी मार खा जाएंगे, ठीक है ना? So the correct good length ball is exactly like pitching the song exactly where the track is. The track may be a scale lower, because today I am also seeing on the YouTube that there are some people who are giving us tracks with one scale lower to adjust to people like you and me, which is very good, but that is not the original scale, right? But if it is comfortable for you, go ahead, no problem. Nobody is going to crucify you for that. Okay? So there are tracks which are available with a lower scale. Otherwise, what we'll have to do is convert the video track into an audio track. There are so many websites and portals for that. Reduce scale of convert video MP4 into MP3. ऐसा अगर आपने सर्च कर लिया तो आपको ढेर सारे वेबसाइट्स मिल जाएंगे, ठीक है ना? तो you choose one where it is safe. So while searching, please use words like MP4 to MP3 conversion online free. Please add the words online and free wherever possible. It has helped me, so I am telling you. I don't know whether that is a mantra, but it has worked for me. Because some websites will charge you, some websites will take you somewhere else and take you on a dunya ki sair kar lo kind of a thing, right? So you have to be very careful about some of these websites, and they are all not very safe, and they are also not very clean. Okay? So it is very important for us to look at the scale. Now looking at the tempo, यानी the speed of the track, यानी 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? कैसा जा रहा है वो? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, you know, the different songs have different tempos, right? And just one technical clarification for somebody who may be knowing about this Audacity, which is a software. Tempo is different from speed in Audacity. So when you change the tempo of a track, it is the tempo and not the speed of the track. There are so many क्या बोलते हैं उसको, drop down lists are there in Audacity, saying that if you want to change something, what do you want to change? So it says scale, it says speed, it says tempo, it says something else and all that. So be always aware that you have to change the tempo and not the speed. Now both may be the same in English, but in terms of musical tracks it is different. Okay? So tempo is also the underlying tempo of the beat. So tempo is also measured in beats per minute. So one beat every second is called as 60 BPM. So 60 seconds per minute, so 60 BPM, right? And right. So those are the two important things I wanted to tell you. The other is that you have to be very familiar with the original song. So that's why I keep on telling everybody and every time that it is always useful to keep on listening to the original. Keep on listening to the original. Because every time you listen to the original, you will discover something new. Arey wah, Rafi Saab, yahan pe he has used this word very softly, or he has given a twist, or he has done something else, kuch aur tarike se kiya hai, ढंग से किया है वगैरह वगैरह. So every time you listen to it, you are discovering something new about the song, and it gets into your mind, you become a little more familiar, etc., etc. And so therefore it is very important for us to sing as per the scale and tempo of the track. Okay, so this is the one major thing as far as this particular point is concerned. Now some tracks are also very jarring or very loud, okay, meaning that they are very not well produced. So it's not high on fidelity, as they call it, fidelity, right? So fidelity is the quality of the overall music and overall sound. So अगर वो fidelity अच्छा नहीं है तो सुनने में अच्छा नहीं लगता है. Though it is a S.D. Burman music or Roshan or somebody, you don't feel nice to listen to it because there is so much noise and clutter inside. So better to avoid such tracks, because in case you are wanting to use that track and sing on the stage, when the amplifier is going to amplify it manifold times, it will sound very disturbing to the audience, right? It will sound very disturbing to the audience, and they will say, अरे ये क्या गाना सुना रहा है? I mean, I don't think this is going to be good. And sometimes, people get, they say हमको सर दर्द होने लगता है and all that. So we don't want to disturb people by using the wrong type of faulty tracks, right? So be aware of faulty tracks. And so therefore a lot of search has to be done. यानी यूट्यूब में इतना, यानी क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ढूंढना पड़ता है, बट मिल जाता है. यानी अगर एक गाने के लिए 4-5 लोग अगर कैरोके ट्रैक प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं तो सब एक बार सुन लेना अच्छा है. It's always good counsel to listen to it. And there are some people, some track makers who are good. You will also realize that इनका जो ट्रैक है ये अच्छा बनता है, ये जो ट्रैक बनाते हैं ये ठीक नहीं रहता है, etc. etc. So you will come to your own conclusions also. Okay. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, there are also Smule and Star Singer available, where good tracks are available, but you cannot download it, you cannot use it, and things like that. So there are problems with that because they are proprietary portals, right? It is also important to see that there are no mistakes in the track and things like that. And also I will display some of the karaoke models in the next session, because the next session, as I have written to you, is session number 4, which is about audio video equipment. So what is the karaoke kit to be purchased, what is the mic to be used, कितने तरह के mics हैं, कितने तरह के mixers हैं, how much you should have. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your budget that will determine, but nevertheless, budgets do matter to individuals. But today good quality equipments are available. Sometimes Amazon में काफ़ी discount में भी मिल जाते हैं if you're lucky, etc. Right? So those are also some of the other things that we need to remember. Okay. There are also people in every city who have their own studios, right? There are people who have their own studios. Studios यानी ऐसा एक छोटा सा कमरा है. It has been properly, let's say, padded to make it soundproof and sound absorbing, etc. And they have a very good set of mic. They have recording equipment. They will record it for you and give it to you, or you can go to their studio and do a streaming from there live, whatever, etc. And उनका per hourly rate रहता है 500 rupees per hour, 400 rupees per hour, 600 rupees per hour, 800 rupees per hour, because sometimes the studio owner also is a technical person, so he will help you to set it up, he will lower the scale for you, he will increase the speed for you if you want, tempo for you, sorry. Okay, and he will also help you to record, he may have some arrangement for streaming, etc. तो ऐसा भी studio owners होते हैं हर city में, and it should be possible for you to take their help also, right? We will talk about streaming and all a little later on, because that is at the next level. पहले गाना है, उसके बाद उसको सुनाना है, तीसरी बार उसको रिकॉर्ड करना है, और उसके बाद ही तो है ना उसका स्ट्रीमिंग करना वगैरह. So we will do all that as we go along. Not we are only still in first standard. We don't want to go into 10th standard right away. Right. Okay. Now, as I have said earlier, another mantra which I love to always mention is, which I have already mentioned, because these things I cannot keep it to myself until third or fourth session, so I always end up uttering it earlier also. The mantra is very simple. There are so many songs which we like. There are so many songs which we like. लागा चुनरी में दाग, पूछो ना कैसे मैंने, बैजू बावरा, I mean, Lag Ja Gale. There are hundred thousands of songs which we like, but we cannot sing all the songs. This is a generic logic. ये कोई it's a no brainer. You don't have to be a computer scientist to tell this, okay, or a psychologist to say this. There are hundreds and hundreds of songs, but we cannot sing everything. That is the broader logic. What is the derivative logic from that? उसमें से क्या हमको याद में रखना है, याद रखना है? The songs which you like are not the songs which you may be able to sing best. I am giving a pause because you need to absorb this simple logic. The song which you like most may not be the song which you will sing the best. कैसा लगा? Punch dialogue. Very simple, very simple. You will realize it. You would have already realized it. I am not selling you anything new. ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी पहली बार आपको ये सुनाई दे रहा है. अरे वाह क्या बताया बात कही यार, बाप रे बाप. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. It is just a statement of truth. Today, if my throat is not all right, I am not even going to attempt the song which I can sing nicely. Then where is the question of? Since my throat is not all right today, even the song which is one of my favorite, which I know I can sing well, even that I am not going to attempt. What is the meaning of that? That means you know your limitations. Very simple. Do you know your limitations? And this limitation, nobody from outside has to tell you that. Incidentally, since I am also an HR consultant and practitioner and management practitioner and all that, we all know our shortcomings. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमको एक टेस्ट लेना है कि to know what kind of shortcomings I have. No. And when it comes to singing, your own wife will tell you, अरे ये क्यों गा रहे हो, तो आपको आपसे ठीक से नहीं होता है आपसे. Your wife is the best judge. Your daughter is the best judge. Your son is the best judge. Your friend is the best judge. He will say, अरे वो तू मुकेश का गाना गाना, why are you trying Manna Day songs? आपको जमेगा नहीं. Why do they say that? And I have also hundreds of people I have suggested, सर आपको हेमंत कुमार का गाने बहुत सूट होंगे, या फिर आपको मुकेश का गाना बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, you will be able to sing well. And they have all accepted and they have said that, yes sir, I also know that. What do they say? सर हमें भी जानकारी है सर इसके बारे में, बट क्योंकि आप कह रहे हैं, यानी आप मीन्स नॉट बिकॉज आई एम एक्सपर्ट और एनीथिंग, ये इट इज़ गेटिंग रीइंफोर्स्ड. अभी जो आप भी कह रहे हैं ये रीइंफोर्स हो गया है कि हाँ मुझे मुकेश और हेमंत कुमार के गाने ही अच्छे लगेंगे. अच्छा तो वैसे लगता है रफ़ी साहब के गाने, लेकिन मुझसे हो नहीं पाएगा सर. Isn't it? So that is the truth. In other words, know your limitation. Know your limitation of the scale, range. Range. See, another thing this music director friend has told me is that what is a song? A song is a combination of low frequency sounds, middle frequency sounds, and high frequency sounds. That is why a song has an influence on your emotion, it seems. Because the song is a song, typically Hindi or Tamil or Malayalam or Marathi song, a film song, based on a particular raga, comprises of all the three ranges of frequencies, with the result that when you put in the drama of the lyrics and the feelings of the singer and the raga which the music composer is using, then you have magic in your hands. That is why it produces a feeling which you cannot express. What do Hindi songs really convey to us? It conveys a lot of things to us, but are we able to convey it to somebody else? Are we able to express it? मेरे से नहीं होता है सर. क्या कहने हैं? I mean, what will you express? कि कैसा लगा आपको, कैसा लग रहा है आपको, क्या हो रहा है आपके अंदर, what will you express? So that is why the song, which is a musical composition, has all the frequencies of notes and musical notes, right? And that is why a song is a song, right? Okay, so that is the second principle, that know your limitation. The song that you like most may not be the song that you can sing best. That is the second principle. First principle is catching the train, seamlessly catching the train without falling off, without jerking off, etc. What is the third principle of my session? It is based on the principle of yoga, which was born in India, right? We are so proud that yoga is an Indian property. What is the third principle of yoga? Principles which I have taken from yoga, which are useful for us. In that third principle, there are two parts. The first part, or the first sub-principle, is simple, is that we have to, when we sing, we have to observe the principle of sukham. Sukham in Sanskrit means pleasure, comfort, enjoyment. Sukham. सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न हो, दुख में न कोई. Sukham. Sukham is a derivative from Sanskrit and it means comfort. Here I am actually referring to comfort. That means when you are singing, you should be comfortable. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप स्ट्रेस के साथ गाओ. कैसा गा सकते हैं आप? कभी नहीं हो सकता, कभी नहीं हो सकता. Can you be under stress and you will sing? Is it possible? Because you are under the stress ki whether I can sing that song correctly, then it is all the more stress. And if you do not have your lyrics correctly in your front of you, and if you do not know the song, and if you do not know which scale to sing at, and if you cannot keep the tal, then also you will be stressed. So the principle of sukham means दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, आराम से. ऐसा नहीं कि दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का पता नहीं अभी आगे कैसा गाना है. नहीं चाहिए अपने को, नहीं चाहिए. Take it easy policy. If you are not comfortable, don't sing. Don't sing that song. Try it again, practice 100 times, then sing. Get your comfort from the feeling of confidence. Where does comfort come from? Confidence. अरे ये गाना मेरे को ऊपर से नीचे मेरे को पता है, नीचे से ऊपर भी मेरे को I can recite. अच्छा, fantastic, very good. तो फिर भी आप सीधा रखो आप. I used to think why Lata Mangeshkar ji and Mohammad Rafi are always keeping their notes in front of them. That is not because they don't remember the song. They have sung 10,000, 18,000 songs. अभी ये सडनली आपने स्टेज में ये गाना गाने को बोल दिया तो कैसा गाएंगे. एंड एक जगह पे उनका नोट्स रहता है कि यहाँ पे बदलना है, स्केल बदलेगा, यहाँ पे एक ट्विस्ट देना है, यहाँ पे एक झटका देना है, यहाँ पे एक फिरकी देना है, यहाँ पे एक नुआंस है, यहाँ पे एक फीलिंग देना है, मुझे हंसना है, रोना है. Isn't it? So that is why they use the notes, not because they are okay, that is good. We are learning from them. It's a good role modeling for us. But we need to keep our notes ready all the time. Overconfidence can lead to underperformance, right? So the first principle, in the third principle, as I said, it comprises of two small principles. Sukham, comfort. What is the second sub-principle? Sthiram, sthir. Sthir in Sanskrit means stability. And here we also refer to it as poise. कि आपको जैसे खड़ा होके गाना है या फिर बैठ के गाना है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप सिर घुमाते घुमाते गाओ. Then the mic also has to move with you. Some people hold the mic and then do like this or do like this and then keep it somewhere else. And then they shake our head. And then how can you sing with your shaking head? Because the audience also should feel you are okay. If you are okay, I am okay, isn't it? So you should sound stable. When you are comfortable, you will be stable. So Sukham and Sthiram are like twins. They are like the two sides of a coin. Like we say in a marriage, there is a husband and a wife, both two sides of the same coin. Something like that. Or in a house, the father and the mother. Whatever. Right? So one cannot go without the other. Sukham cannot be without the Sthiram. Sthiram means I am spelling it as STH. STH, right? Sthir. Sthir hona. यानी हिंदी में भी बोलते हैं हम लोग. But these are words from Sanskrit because they are from yoga. When you are stable, when you are having poise, in addition to your voice, do you have poise? The way you stand, the way you sing, the way you keep your hands. There are some people who keep doing like this. दिल का भंवर करे पुकार. ठीक है, आराम से शुरू में करिए, but after that, presentation also matters. Presentation also matters. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अगर ऐसा करते रहो तो people will be looking at your hand and not listening to your song, because you are distracting the audience, right? So some people use the hand. Instead of that, use your foot tapping. दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे, दिल का भंवर करे. Or you can do, instead of doing like this where you can hear the sound, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, that also problem. So then what you should do, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार, प्यार का राग सुनो, प्यार का राग सुनो रे, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार. So use that, or use your foot, assuming this is your foot. दिल का भंवर करे पुकार. So this is very nice, because then people are also seeing that you are doing that, so they will also say, अरे वाह, ये तो ताल से गा रहा है. Because then you are tapping your foot, right? And then they will tap their foot, it will become a foot tapping number for you, right? So it's just a play of words. Sorry about that, but so Sukham is comfort and enjoyment. Sthiram is stability and poise. Poise as in the way you stand, the way you present, the way you smile, the way you keep your face, right? And you should not be under tension कि अगला अंतरा मेरे को मुश्किल होने वाला है, how am I going to go up, etc. and all those things. So it's okay. I mean, these things we do learn, okay? And when I am giving you example, I am not talking about anybody. I am just going by my experience. I am not certainly trying to talk about anybody. All of us are learning. But since I sit in some as a judge also, I see that some people use their head, shake their head like this while singing and all that. So I tell them, कि हो सके तो don't shake anything, okay, except your throat, except the cords of your throat. Okay. Now the third, so that's over. The third principle is also over, Sukham and Sthiram. Now the next point is that since voice is your tool, it's your vehicle, right? Now I have realized that after COVID, because I also got Omicron and all that, my voice, I am not certifying it as 100% of what it was before Omicron. And I am very much concerned about that. In fact, some days I go without sleep. My wife says, क्या हो गया आपको? I said, no, something is happened to my voice. And it is not what it is now. So I am going to go on a voice, treatment therapy now from today onwards. I am going to go back to my turmeric. I am going to go back to my salt water gargling. I am going to go back to keeping one small pepper in your mouth all the time. I am going to go back to not straining my voice for talking. Unfortunately, I give lectures, I take sessions in management and all that, so I have to throw my voice. I have to throw my voice. But then I know it's going to be a little occupational hazard for me, right? But I am conscious. So you should be conscious of the health of your throat all the time. You should be conscious of the health of your throat, because the body gives you signals. Your body gives you auto suggestions, bio suggestions to you to say that आपके आपके पैर में कुछ नीचे कुछ है, तो आपको कुछ वहाँ पे कुछ करना है, यू हैव टू मसाज योर calf muscles, or you have to, there is some problem in your neck, or there is a small headache which is coming, or there is some rumbling in your stomach. These are all indications of your body, and you have to listen to it. And you have to listen to it. And if it is concerning your throat, you better take precautions. You better take precautions. Keep this in your hand. पानी है ये और कुछ नहीं है. Keep this in your hand. Always hydrate yourself. It may be bad manners to sing, to drink water in front of you, but this is not a show where I'm trying to impress you, right? So I don't mind drinking water because you have to learn from me. You have to learn from me in terms of role modeling. So I'm just taking a sip in front of you because, see, it is not that we have to drink this bottle while singing 4-5 songs in a program, right? So what we need to do is just to take a sip. 1 spoon of water just to what do you call it, hydrate, just to lubricate, right? Just to lubricate your throat, because there could be a dryness after continuous speaking, or there could be an air conditioning because of the cold air, so your throat will become dry, right? So these are all some very important things. Now I am going to such minor detail that I have got accolades from season 1 saying, "Sir, इतना deep जा रहे हो आप सर, इतना imagination होता है कि इतने सारे ढेर सारे चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखना पड़ता है क्या? गाना ऐसे गा नहीं सकते?" तो मैं बोलता ऐसे गाओ यार, आराम से गाओ. बट दीज आर द थिंग्स, इफ़ यू वांट टू बी अ सिंगर, इफ़ यू वांट टू बी अ गुड सिंगर, इफ़ यू वांट टू बी अ प्रोफेशनल, सेमी प्रोफेशनल सिंगर eventually, these are some of the things which you have to remember, right? So hydrating your throat, understanding your throat dynamics is very important, right? And if you can take warm water regularly, nothing like it, nothing like it. Warm water regularly. Every day you can also gargle with a little bit of sea salt, meaning वो जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, crystal salt जो बोलते हैं, powder salt नहीं, salt चलेगा, but crystal salt. Just 2-3 stones or 2-3 crystals in a half glass of water, as hot as possible but not too hot. You should not go and burn your throat. Take 2-3 gargles, spit it out, go to sleep. Yeah, it'll do a lot of good for you. Salt water gargling is a age-old grandmother recipe for sore throats. Okay, right. Now there is something called as voice culturing. This is a very important topic. Voice culture. Now there are people who claim that they are voice culture experts. Let them be, no problem. But what is it that they are telling you? What is it that they are telling you? They are asking you to do riyaz. What is riyaz? Practice. You know, Sriram Iyengar, one of the participants of season 1, who might be here present today also, he says, "Sir, every day 1 hour I practice." I mean, I don't know whether it is 2 hours, but every day I practice. Every day I practice. Some song or the other, at least sing to myself, keep singing, open up your throat, you know, and then open up the chords in your throat, etc. And then practice. I mean, in other words, riyaz karna, right? But then what is voice culture and what is riyaz basically? Riyaz is of course practice. You can keep on singing Dil Ka Bhavar, or you can sing whichever song you like, or 4-5 songs or 8-9 songs, whatever it may be. But what it also means is that can you sing the 7 steps of the Sarigama Padha Nisa? Can you do it up and down, up and down, up and down about 10-15 times as per your comfort? Again, it is a question of Sukham Sthiram. Because yoga is also Sukham Sthiram, practice is also Sukham Sthiram, whatever is you are comfortable with. If you are getting tired after 5, stop it, no problem. You don't have to write any exam. So can we do as long as you can hold it? Re ga ma padhani sa sa ni da pa, whatever, okay? Because as I said, I don't want you to tell me, sir, आप गा गलती से गा रहे हैं या फिर पा गलती से गा रहे हैं. Sorry about that. But this is it. And there are English tutorials, meaning that online in YouTube there are people from Western world who are teaching Western classical music. They also teach you the same thing. That is the beauty of Indian music and its culture and its history, right? They also teach you more or less Sarigama Padhanisa only. Sanidapa Magarisa, right? In a different way. They may not call it Sa, Ni, Dapa, etc. They might say whatever, right? Then there are also Indian musicians and singers who are also teaching us how to sing Sarigama Padhanisa, practice it, etc. Then there is also variation of that. What are the variations? Sa, 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 re, that way. So two each, two lines, or sa, 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 re, ga, 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 ma, pa, 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 whatever, So you basically, what are you doing? Through these 7 scales, 7 steps of the scale, you are opening up your chords. You are actually exercising the muscles. You are exercising the chords of your throat, vocal cords of your throat, so that they open up. जैसे हम लोग stretch exercises करते हैं सुबह सुबह or just before going to the office, or in the office we do some calisthenics, etc. Some companies do that, right? Warming up. So the same thing. This is warming up. This is nothing but warming up of your throat. And this is very important. Sapasa is very important. And my granddaughter, who is also learning music, both Carnatic music as well as Western, she says, the music teacher, there are these purohits who come for conducting puja in your house. So in South Indian languages, they are also called as Ganapadigal and all, okay, or whatever, right? Purohits, basically purohits, right? So they come and recite the mantras. So she says, don't use that tone which the purohit is using. Like, for example, they will say, Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam. Now, that is not the voice in which you are supposed to sing, she tells me. She's an 11-year-old girl, she is telling me, don't sing in Purohit choral. Don't sing in Purohit voice. See, you have to soften your voice. Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet. Right? So it's not Shuklam Baradaram Vishnam Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam. That is his problem. That is his profession. This is not my profession. Right? So this is very important. This is a very fantastic learning that I got from my 11-year-old granddaughter. So whom do we learn from? Everybody. Right? Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next tip for you as singers is Uchcharan. Pronunciation. Diction. Accent. These are the different words to describe. उच्चारण. इसका जो आपने उच्चारण किया है ये ठीक नहीं है सर, आपको जरा ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. What does it mean? You have to focus, you have to remember, this is not the way you pronounce that word. आपके हसीन रुख. It is here, रुख. It is not R-U-K-H, rukh. Ruk jana nahi is different. Ruk jana. Stop. That is the Hindi meaning of ruk jana. Ruk jana nahi. तो कहीं हार के, that is रुक जाना. This is आपके हसीन रुख पे आज नया नूर hai. Right? So pronunciation is very important. Now suppose it's the first line of this famous song, picturized on Dharmendra in Teen Deviyan. Isn't it? Just imagine if you are going to start this song. Just imagine if you are going to start this Muhammad Rafi song saying, Aapke haseen rukh. People will switch off their mind. ठीक है, ये गाना गाता अच्छा रहेगा लेकिन हमको सुनना नहीं है. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Now this is another thing which I now made a mistake. I had kept my mobile not in the silent mode. When you are performing, you need to keep your mobile and all that in silent mode. Otherwise, suddenly it may be a fraud call, right? It may be asking for your credit card or whatever. But then the problem is it has disturbed you and disturbed the audience, right? So I'm very sorry about that. I should also practice what I preach, but this is also important. This is also important. Okay. So if you do not pronounce correctly, if your accent is a little not accent neutral, as we are now started saying, then there is a problem in acceptance by the audience. The audience will say, ठीक है, by your accent, they will say, अरे ये तो, I don't want to name any state. They will say, अच्छा, he must be from such and such state. It could be anywhere, right, in India. So can we improve, can we work on our accent?
Voice, no voice, sir.
No voice? You can't hear me?
I can hear
You,
I can hear you.
yeah. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good. So if you do not focus on your accent, which is very important because that reflects the quality of the song you are delivering, right? And though we are singing for our own happiness, but others are also listening, na? So they should not feel, अरे यार मजा नहीं आया यार, ये क्या है इसका, I mean he must be from such and such state, so he is pronouncing it like that, etc., etc., right? It happens the other way around also. For example, when North Indian singers sing in South Indian film songs, in films, then we say, "Arey, why is he wasting his time? He is very busy in Bombay. Why does he come to Chennai and record such songs?" And vice versa. So that is also there among even professional singers. That problem is there. But we must, since we are now going for class and we are going for standard and things like that, we should focus on that actually. Okay, and then the director upstairs had told me, take care of your takeoff and landing. That if the song is ending exactly at that point, then you should also photo finish that song. You should also photo finish that song in a manner in which they will say, "Arey, kya bahut maja aa gaya." I mean, what a photo finish. Just imagine a guy who is finishing his 100 meters Olympics race and he just, broken the record and cut the ribbon, as they call it. And then there is a photograph of that photo finish where you see the ribbon being cut. It has become loose and this guy's chest has touched the ribbon, right? Just that's called a photo finish photograph, right? So we should also aim to finish our songs with a photo finish kind of a standard, right? And as I said earlier, keeping your tal is very important and things like that. Okay, now I will request Archana ji to show us a video where the greatest singers including Lata Mangeshkar ji is telling us how to control your breath, how to be conscious of it. At the same time, the breath should not get recorded like saying, okay, that kind of a thing. Today's songs, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not criticizing or anything. It is very fashionable to show that your breathing can be heard. For example, latest Sonu Nigam song, which somebody sent to me. So every word is preceded by his breathing, right? So here we go. Thank you, Archana ji. We start with Shreya Ghoshal. Yes.
जब भी किया है रियाज़, और मैंने बहुत बचपन से म्यूज़िक की साधना शुरू की, और 2-2, 3-3, 4-4 घंटे दिन के एज अ चाइल्ड ऑल्सो आई हैव डन रियाज़. सो आई फील रियाज़ का सबसे बड़ा गोल आपको लाइफ में सेट करना है कि आपकी जो वोकल क्वालिटी है, आपका जो रेंज है. अगर आप क्लासिकल म्यूज़िक सीख रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है. क्लासिकल म्यूज़िक से आपका फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग होता है, आपकी वॉइस में ईज़ आ जाती है, एफर्टलेस फीलिंग आ जाती है, और आप जो सोच रहे हैं वो गा सकते हैं, आपका वो सुर लग सकता है. इसके लिए रियाज़ करना ज़रूरी है और क्लासिकल म्यूज़िक सीखना ज़रूरी है. आई बिलीव दैट. एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत जल्दबाजी नहीं होनी चाहिए. एक गोल बनाइए लाइफ में, जहाँ पे आपकी डिफ़िकल्टी है, जो सुर नहीं लग रहे हैं, चाहे वो सरगम हो, चाहे वो एक टुकड़ा आप ले लें जो भी सरगम का है, या कोई भी डिफ़िकल्ट बंदिशी हो, या उसके जो लाइकारी है, जो भी आपसे हो नहीं रहा है, वही टुकड़ा ले और उस पर 1 महीना आप पूरा उसी में डेडिकेट करें, तब जाके उसमें परफेक्शन आती है. एंड आई हैव सीन, ये मेरा ही एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, जितने अच्छे सिंगर्स हैं जिनको मैं बहुत मानती हूँ, मैंने उन सब से सीखा है, सबकी बातें सुनी है, सबका रियाज भी सुना है. एंड एवरीवन डज दैट, तब जाके वो तैयारी बनती है.
राइटिंग, पेंटिंग, सिंगिंग, प्लेइंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट, ये सब जज्बा है इसके अंदर. टेक्निक इतना है, टेक्निक बहुत है, उसमें फॉर्मूलाज है, किस तरह से आप अपने आप को तैयार कर सकते हैं, क्या कायदा है, क्या नहीं है, ये जरूरी. इट्स लाइक एक बैट्समैन, सुनील गावस्कर या सचिन तेंदुलकर या विश्वनाथ, एवरी स्ट्रोक उन्होंने पता नहीं कितने लाख हजारों टाइम उन्होंने प्रैक्टिस किया है, और जब वो खेलते हैं बोलेंगे अरे क्या फ्लूइडिटी है. अरे वो फ्लूइडिटी के पीछे तो उन्होंने कितने साल कर दिया है उन्होंने. या रविशंकर जी, उन्होंने कहा एक कॉन्सर्ट में कुछ सपाट लेके करके आए स्पीड में, तो कहा कि ये तो स्पॉन्टेनियस है और इसके पीछे बहुत रात में नहीं जागा. तो परिश्रम करना, टेक्निक्स, दिस इज ऑल रोल्ड अप इनटू मेकिंग अ गुड आर्टिस्ट. वो सिर्फ मुझे गाना है और मेरे पास आवाज है, ठीक है आप गा सकते हैं, ऐसी बात नहीं है. अगर ये सब आप ध्यान देंगे तो बहुत अच्छा.
अनिल दा ने मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ें सिखाई, मतलब मैंने उनसे सीखी, उन्होंने शायद सिखाई नहीं हो, पर मेरे दिमाग में वो बातें रहीं. जैसे गाने में सांस कहाँ छोड़नी चाहिए, कहाँ लेनी चाहिए, तो ये मैंने उनसे सीखा. यहाँ तक कि मैं माइक के सामने होती थी तो लोगों को पता भी नहीं चलता कि मैंने कहाँ सांस ली, कहाँ छोड़ी. ये मैंने उनसे सीखा. दूसरी बात मैंने उनसे ये सीखी कि कोई सुर लगाना है तो कितना मतलब फेड इन फेड आउट करना, ये मैंने उनसे सीखा, जो कि शायद और आर्टिस्टों ने उस पर ध्यान नहीं दिया. मैंने ये चीज़ बहुत ध्यान से सीखी. गुलाम हैदर साहब से भी मैंने एक बात सीखी थी कि बोल बिल्कुल साफ होनी चाहिए, और दूसरी बात उसमें ये थी कि जहाँ बीट आता है वहाँ जो बोल आएगा उस पर थोड़ा सा जोर देना, ताकि गाना एकदम
गाने में अपने जो क्वालिटी है, मेरिट्स है, वो दिखाने की जो तैयारी है वो गाना सीखने के बाद ही होती है. सीखा हुआ गायक और ऐसे ही गाने वाला गायक, इसमें तो फर्क होगा. तो इसका मूल जो है वो है क्लासिकल गाना. क्लासिकल सीखना बड़ा ज़रूरी है. क्लासिकल सीखे बिना माइक्रोफोन के सामने खड़ा होना ज़रा डिफ़िकल्ट होता है. फिर उसको किसी भी तरह का गाना मिले वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से गा सकता है.
Don't think there is a particular suggestion that anyone can give. कुछ मतलब there is no hard and fast rule कि ऐसा ही करना है. ऐसा करने से ऐसा होगा, वैसा करने से वैसा होगा, ऐसा रूल नहीं होता है। जितना मैंने सीखा है उस हिसाब से आई हैव ऑलवेज अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम माई गुरु कि एज अ सिंगर गला इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है। गला इज़ बेसिकली योर मशीन, यू हैव दैट सिस्टम इनसाइड यू, और उसके बारे में नहीं सोचना है, उसको वार्म अप करना है। जैसे हम लोग लाइक एन एग्जांपल आई लाइक टू गिव, मेरे गुरुजी हमेशा बोलते थे कि आपको मैराथन करना है, आपको रेस करना है, तो आपको पहले तो आपका बॉडी का वार्म अप चाहिए सो दैट यू कैन रन। सो पैर के साथ साथ बॉडी का हर मसल्स, यू बेसिकली हैव टू बी एक्टिव एंड यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस। वो प्रैक्टिस से क्या होता है, आपका मसल्स जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है वो आ जाता है, एंड देन यू टारगेट इन योर ब्रेन। तो ये जो वार्म अप वाला सिचुएशन है, दिस इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट सिचुएशन, जहाँ पे आपको बिना कुछ सोचे जो भी आपका टीचर है उनको मतलब ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करना है। एंड यू नीड टू हैव अ टीचर, यू नीड टू हैव अ गुरु, और उनको फॉलो करते हुए यू हैव टू वार्म अप मेंटली ऑल्सो, यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर, क्योंकि मैराथन सिर्फ ऐसे दौड़ने से नहीं होता, यू हैव टू हैव अ गोल, कहाँ पे मुझे कैसे सांस लेना है, कहाँ पे मुझे हर्डल्स क्रॉस करना है। अगर इसको एग्जैक्टली सिंगिंग में हम लोग ट्रांसफर करते हैं, इट्स बेसिकली दैट यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर थ्रोट, योर गला लाइक दैट, कि आप जब भी गाने का कोशिश करते हो यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट एनीथिंग एल्स, आप दूसरी चीज़ों पे ध्यान दे सकते हो। आई थिंक बहुत नेचुरल प्रोसेस है ये। गले को अपने हिसाब से रेस्ट देना चाहिए, गले को उतना ज़्यादा पुश नहीं करना है कि आपका गला बैठ जा सकता है। यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल अबाउट योर वॉइस, एंड एट द सेम टाइम अगर गला बैठा भी है यू कैन स्टिल सिंग, इट विल साउंड डिफरेंट। आपका जो टेक्सचर है गले का वो शायद एग्जैक्टली वैसा नहीं रहे जो नॉर्मली रहता है, बट यू कैन स्टिल सिंग, इट विल गिव अ डिफरेंट फ्लेवर एक्चुअली। गाना तो दिल से है, गाना दिमाग से है। आपको कैलकुलेशन जो है, आपका टेक्निकल कैलकुलेशन, जो आप सुर का जो कैलकुलेशन है वो आप दिमाग से करते हो, और उसको नेचुरली आप प्रैक्टिस करके याद करते हो, उसके बाद यू फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट आल्सो। सो बेसिकली इट्स अ प्रोसेस ऑफ अनलर्निंग थिंग्स। आपको यू हैव टू बी अ सिंगर, एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव टू बिकम अ नॉन सिंगर एंड डिलीवर।
एक सजेशन सब बच्चों को देना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि हम लोग भी कभी बच्चे थे, हम भी तो बड़े हुए है ना। एक चीज़ का ख्याल हमेशा रखना, मेरा ये मानना है, जब किसी बड़े आदमी का गाना गा रहे हो ना, बड़ा आदमी क्या होता है, ये लोग बड़े लोग होते हैं जिन्होंने बहुत नाम कमाया, इज्जत कमाई है ना, जिनका अपने काम पर बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रहा है। जब कोई बड़े लोग के गाना गाओ ना, उतना ही गाओ जितना वो पेश करके गए हैं। वो ऑलरेडी उतना ही कर जाओ ना पूरा, इस उम्र में वो काफ़ी है। उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा मत करके दिखाओ कि मतलब देखो उनसे ज़्यादा मुझे आता है। तो जब आप नुसरत फतेह अली खान गाना गा रहे हैं, पहले उतना उसको पूरा पक्का कर लीजिए कि वो आदमी ने क्या गाया है। वो जब हाथ में आ जाए पूरा, उसके बाद एक थोड़ा सा और कहीं कलर मार दिया, एक आउटलाइन कर दी, ये कर दिया, समझे आप, है ना। तो ये ध्यान देना आप हमेशा। आप सब
में सबसे पहले सबसे उत्तम चीज़ होती है सुर। और आज मैं आपने जितने भी लिसनर्स हैं उन सबको एक छोटा सा एक लेसन देना चाहूँगा। आप सभी लोग समझदार हैं, लेकिन अगर गाने में पिच करेक्ट ना हो, सुर करेक्ट ना हो, तो गाना बिल्कुल असर नहीं करेगा। सुनने वाले को बिल्कुल भी मज़ा नहीं आएगा अगर आप सुर में नहीं हैं। कभी कभी क्योंकि आजकल टेक्नोलॉजी का ज़माना है और टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी एडवांस हो गई है कि हम बेसुरा गा के भी उसको सुर में ला सकते हैं। लेकिन जब आप लाइव गाते हैं तो वहाँ ये फैसिलिटी नहीं है, वहाँ आप एक्सपोज हो जाएंगे। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि सबसे पहले पिचिंग करेक्ट होनी चाहिए, उसके बाद में, क्योंकि पिच करेक्ट होगा, सुर करेक्ट होगा, तो सुर के अंदर ही एक्सप्रेशंस भी छुपे हुए हैं। अब आप कोई भी गाना गाएंगे और गाने में आप पूरा तेरी गलियां, तो भी कोई भी गाना है, तू ना मिला, अगर पिचिंग तू ना मिला, पिच गड़बड़ होगा तो वो एक्सप्रेशंस भी नहीं आएगा। अगर आप सुर में गा रहे हैं तो सुर में ही एक्सप्रेशंस होते हैं। अगर आपको सही सुर का रियाज़ करना है तो सबसे मेन चीज़ है तानपुरा, और तानपुरे पे अगर आप रियाज़ करेंगे तो आपका पिचिंग 440 हो जाएगा। लेकिन कई लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि जिनको अरे यार कौन मिलाएगा यार, तानपुरा आधा घंटा जाता है यार, ठीक है फ़ोन से तानपुरा लेके, वो भी ठीक है, मैं भी करता हूँ वो, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से मैनुअल तानपुरे पे रियाज़ करना चाहिए। तभी आप इसकी जो जब आप मिलाते हैं तो मिलाते वक्त जो एक फ्रीक्वेंसी आपके कानों में जा रही है वो कहीं ना कहीं बैठ जाती है, और आप बंद भी हो जाएगा। जब आप इसको बंद करके रख भी देते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं वो एक आपके इर्द गिर्द घूमती रहेगी। मैं समझता हूँ मेरी इस बात से बहुत सारे लोग इत्तेफाक रखेंगे। ये देखिए, तो जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है आसपास घूम रही है।
The voice gym. The voice gym, I think, is it's a parallel example to any gym for maintaining the wellness of your body, or if you want to play a game, a sport. There are certain things, there are certain techniques that you need to use if you want to perform efficiently in that particular sport or whatever you do. Similarly, if you want to sing, I think the voice gym is beautiful. It teaches you techniques, it teaches you ways and means in which you can keep your voice maintained, or at least prevent it to a certain extent from being, destroyed by weather conditions or excessive screaming or, overexertion. So this course is very important for all singers, including me.
Okay, so I took a lot of pain to bring you something which is so relevant. Whatever we spoke about, including taking care of your voice, practicing, listening to the original song, and doing riyas, all that has been mentioned by these people. Frankly, I never, that's a simple truth, isn't it? That's the basics anyway, right? So that's the wonderful video. I thought I should present it to you because today in this session it's all the more relevant. They were saying that you should keep listening repeatedly to the original song, understand all the bandishes and things like that, and practice obviously is a must. We have to practice that song maybe a few hundred times or whatever, and always have the lyrics in your mind or have it handy in your laptop or whatever device you are using, so that then you can refer to it, because the song also will come correctly when you are able to get the lyrics correct. Because sometimes the flow of the song will not come when you do not know the lyrics. So when the lyrics are there, it goes and sits perfectly, because that's how it was made, right? And the last point which I would like to mention here is that as one of the principles of adult learning, is to seek feedback, is to ask for feedback, including in our WhatsApp groups, etc. There are a lot of people who are saying, "Arey, everybody is appreciating, goody बोल रहे हैं सब लोग, कोई suggestion for improvement नहीं दे रहा है, what is happening," and all that. So people are, little hesitant to give feedback, because in case you feel bad, because there were some people who actually left, of course, thankfully, who were not wanting feedback because they thought they are the best, etc. So they have gone. Anyway, it's okay. But the point is that the sign of a good, mature, adult human being is that he or she will always ask for feedback and try to improve. That's all, right? Because what we sing, we think we are singing very well, but the person who is hearing it, because a song has the quality that it can impact, that it can influence the listener. So when that happens, the listener only can give you feedback. But what is the solution for this? Try to record your song and listen to it, so that you yourself can listen to your own songs, and then you will realize, "Arey, first antara itself I have made a mistake. Second antara again I have made a mistake in that wordings or lyrics. ठीक से मेरा उच्चारण ठीक नहीं था, or I slipped on that word," whatever it may be. So self feedback is also a very mature type of learning. But learning from others, getting feedback and observations from others is also a good sign of learning from everybody else. So before closing, I want to request Archana ji to show you only one simple poster, which incidentally I got it 2-3 days back from one of my friends, saying that receiving criticism and how do you respond to it? How do you look at any criticism that anybody may give you? Somebody may say, "Sir, your shirt is too loud. It's too what do you call, too loud," right? Somebody may say, "Your shirt is very good. It suits you well." Fine. So if it is too loud, I may have to remember that, okay, so I have to be also aware of the fact that many people may not like this color or this boldness or the big stripes and things like that. So we are aware of the people. We are sensitive to what others people may say. I think that's very important, right? So Archana ji, can you just show us that small poster? It has got only 5 or 6 lines, okay? We will read that, and that will almost reinforce. So principles for taking criticism well. This is for our WhatsApp group actually, and also for our practice sessions after session number 4, which is next session is session number 4. After that, we will go for practice sessions from session number 5 onwards, where everybody will be expected to give you feedback. So this is a principle or a learning for all of us. First principle, realize that you have nothing to fear from knowing the truth. If somebody says, sir, aap sur mein nahi ga rahe hain, so that's a truth, isn't it? That is a truth. Now, whether you like it or not, that is the truth. You are not singing as per scale. Finished. So then you realize, okay, so maybe I'll have to lower the pitch or, do something to the track so that I can adjust myself to the pitch. The second principle is that recognize that while most people prefer compliments, accurate criticism actually is more valuable. See, it is very easy for me to say, sir, aapne bahut acha gaya, sir. Okay. Now, bahut acha gaya means what? Are you saying it is good, it is bad, it is ugly, or it is super duper? What are you saying? So why don't we qualify that saying that आपने अच्छा गाया, लेकिन अगर आप सेकंड अंतरे में अगर आप स्लिप नहीं हो जाते तो बहुत ही अच्छा होता सर. So then that's a feedback saying that you sang first antara correctly, in the second antara you failed. Right? Third principle, don't feel bad about your mistakes or those of others. Love your mistakes. After all, you are a human being. We are all human beings. We make mistakes. And we are possibly singing after a long time, right? We were all working, we were all busy chasing our careers, etc. We have now decided to sing. So it is not that we will be perfect in the first practice itself, right? It seems even Lata Mangeshkar ji took 21 retakes of the song Vande Mataram for the movie Anand Mat. She took 21 retakes of that song, and S.D. Burman was not happy with every take. And when the 21st retake was done, he said, yes, pack up. This has been recorded. It has come out perfectly as I wanted it. Right? So there is nothing harm in saying that somebody points out a mistake or whatever. Right? Fourth principle is don't worry about looking good. Worry about achieving your goals. Right? So everybody says, sir, आपका shirt बहुत अच्छा है, fine. Everybody will praise it, but also ask once in a while, सब कुछ ठीक ठाक तो है? Is it too this one? Is it too loud, or is it whether I'm falling on the pitch, whether my pronunciation is correct, etc., etc. Fifth one, we'll just leave it. It's okay. It doesn't require any explanation. Sixth one is remember to reflect when you experience a pain. That means that when somebody tells you that something has not been done correctly, it will give you pain, but that reflection of that pain will give you the solution how to overcome that, right? And the last one, if a number of different believable people say you are doing something wrong and you are the only one who doesn't see it that way, assume that you are probably biased. See, what happens is there is a psychological principle called bias. So we will be biased towards people who are like us. We will be biased towards people from our own state. We will be biased from people from our own religion, whatever it may be, right? So bias means it is like a stereotype, right? So that means when everybody is saying that you have not sung well, and you still feel you have sung it very well, that means you are clearly biased in your own favor. Isn't it? So we will always be happy with ourselves. We will always be thinking that we have done it right. But when somebody tells you you have not done it right, we have to respect that. We have to respect that and learn from that. Okay? Right. Thank you, Archana ji. You can come off the screen. And fine. So only one last thing which I have mentioned it in my narrative also, so I'm just mentioning it. Let us say that this is the mic, right? Because I don't have this is a fixed mic, so let us say this is a mic, right? Many people keep the mic like this and sing. This is the mic head. Let's say this is the mic, right? This is the mic. Now many people keep the mic like this and sing. Actually what you should do is change or tilt the mic towards the angle of your mouth, so that your mouth is in direct line with the length of the mic, like this, not like this. Dil ka bhavar. Many people are also very shy. They hold the mic very low, right? They hold it here and then they hold it at a distance because they don't like to like their voice to be heard by other people. So they are shy. Many people don't like to come and talk and all. You would have seen that in parties and in get-togethers and all that. But you are not one among them. You are a singer, right? So learn to hold the mic this way, right? So that your voice goes down the mic like this, goes down the mic like this. So your mouth should be here, right? Not like this, because your mouth is going to be speaking like this and the mic is standing this way. So it's at 90 degrees to your mouth, right? So at the same time, as they say, normally they hold like this, the 4 fingers, right? This should be the distance between the mic and the head of the mic, like this. Are you able to see that? You are able to see, I'm just showing to you sideways, right? So that then you can really talk into the mic. That's why they say speak into the mic, sing into the mic, right? And not hold the mic this way, right? So that was one thing which I wanted to tell you. The other is, yeah, that's all. I think I have more or less completed, and maybe, yes, of course, as always, we are exceeded the time, but thank you very much for all your patience. Any 1 or 2 questions, just for the sake of, because some people might have a few things which are, you know,
सर एक
useful
क्वेश्चन
to us.
मेरा है,
सर बोलिए सर.
ये हम लोग जो है कि जिस समय परफॉर्मेंस दे रहे होते हैं,
Yes,
तो
sir.
म्यूजिशियन से हम लोग कहते हैं कि कॉर्ड दो, What
कॉर्ड
is
दो,
that?
हाँ जी,
हाँ,
हाँ जी.
उसको थोड़ा सा क्लेरिफाई कर दीजिए तो ज्यादा बेटर हो जाएगा.
नहीं सर, क्या है ना कि when you sing with an orchestra,
Yes.
and let us say it starts with a humming, right? You know, all the more difficult because there is nothing to start. Orchestra तो ऐसे बैठे रहेंगे, आप तो आपको humming के साथ शुरू करना है, right? So then they give you a chord which could be on the keyboard or it could be a guitar also or whatever, so that you say कौन से लेवल पे लेना है.
Okay.
They give you that is called as a prompt for your scale.
Okay.
So that आप ठीक से शुरू करेंगे. नहीं तो क्या होगा कि अगर आपको हमिंग से शुरू करना है and then you start humming on the wrong note, पूरा गाना will have to go necessarily on that track only. तो बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, right? Of course, that is the case most of the cases, and if you are a beginner or if you are a amateur, etc., and if the orchestra people also know that you may be new, etc., so they'll say, sir, आप जरा आप कॉर्ड देता हूँ, आप टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं आपका स्केल क्या है, ये गाना जो है. So they will just strum the guitar or they will just press the key in a particular keyboard saying right, sari gama pada nisa, basically like our Javed Ali was also saying ना कि तानपुरा में
मेरे दिमाग में उसी से वो क्वेश्चन उठा.
हाँ. So that is called as giving a chord or setting the chord, etc. So normally most of the orchestra people are aware of it and they will help you with that chord. But there is no such.
बहुत हेल्प करता है.
हाँ, but क्या है, that is and again another difference with karaoke singing. Nobody gives you any chord.
Correct.
And there are songs, as I said, where you have to start humming or give some mukhda lines. After that only the piano or whatever will start, and then you will have that is where the real test is actually, right?
Correct.
That is actually the real test. So many songs, even including Aapke Haseen Rukh Ugane mein bhi, the piano goes and then it gives you the chord basically, and then you can say Aapke. So you can do that. So it is set. It is not that Aapke then Gaya comes, right? Or whatever, right? So that is the chord actually. Achha, any other question? Any other points? Dilip Lotia ji wants to ask something. Yes, sir. Dilip ji?
Yes, sir. हाँ शर्मा साहब, can you hear me?
Yes, very much. बोलिए.
हाँ, अभी आपने जो बताया ना माइक कैसे रखना है,
हाँ सर,
पैरेलल टू द माउथ,
हाँ जी,
और डिस्टेंस कितना रखना है,
वही
तो
सर.
मेरा एक सवाल था. हाँ, तो उसमें क्या है कि कभी-कभी क्या है कि हम गाने के टाइम अपना श्वास भी उसमें पकड़ा जाता है, तो इसलिए श्वास उसमें नहीं आ, इसलिए मैं थोड़ा दूर रखता हूँ. या थोड़ा इंक्लाइन करके रखता हूँ कि श्वास
इंक्लाइन
उसमें
करके
चला
रखता
जाए।
हूँ, करेक्ट। इनफैक्ट आई स्टिल रिमेंबर आई हैव अ
क्या
रिकॉर्डिंग,
करते हो, श्वास उसमें आ जाता है। हाँ,
करेक्ट, नहीं
थोड़ा
आई
इंक्लाइन
हैव,
करता है तो हाँ,
करेक्ट सर।
हाँ,
एक्चुअली
वही
वो जो डिस्टेंस जो है ना बिटवीन योर माउथ और योर लिप्स एंड द माइक, दैट
हाँ
लार्जली
जी,
डिपेंड्स ऑन द ऑडियो सिस्टम एंड द ऑडियो पर्सन, यू नो, बिकॉज समटाइम्स क्या है कि सम माइक्स आर extra sensitive mics. I mean, we'll be talking about two types of mics in the next session, but
राइट।
I don't want to jump the queue and give you too much information and overload you with things. But since you asked this question, some mics are very sensitive, including the mic I am using now. So if I speak very closely from here, then you are able to listen in a different way. If I speak to you with a certain 4 inches or 6 inches gap, whatever it is, then it is comfortable. And sometimes I have also used a mic, used the mic, keeping the mic, the round jo hai mic ka, I have kept it on my chin here like this. I have kept it here and sung.
राइट।
It has come out very well. I mean, somebody just like that told me when we were all beginning कि आपको mic को chin के पास रखना है तो आपको breathing भी सुनाई नहीं देगा, at the same time voice भी पूरा capture हो जाएगा. So I was quite thrilled with that suggestion. Somebody from the public or somebody who used to sing on the stage, you actually told me that, and I started doing it. In fact, I have one of the recordings of mine where the song is sounding very well. I think it is whatever, okay, घुंघरू की तरह बजता ही रहा हूँ or whatever, and it has come out well. It has come out very well. The sound reproduction is very good, but I've kept the mic on my chin like this, right?
Sir,
And
I don't know the technical reason.
हाँ नहीं ठीक है ना, तो the point is
only thing what I want to point out कि एक बार मैंने माइक एकदम नजदीक रखा था तो वो वहाँ स्पीकर में एकदम आवाज आने लगा, तो उसने बोला मेरे को चिन के पास रखो तो आवाज नहीं आएगा,
चिन के पास रखो, करेक्ट,
कुछ डिस्टर्बेंस आता है वहाँ पे.
हाँ, that largely depends on what is the mixer he is using, है कि नहीं, and what is the speaker he is using, what are the mics he is using in a public kind of a situation, okay, where if you use a mic very close to your mouth it will sound very loud or some खर खर करके आवाज़ भी आता है कभी कभी. Sometimes it can have a resonance with the speaker also, then suddenly you will get one key sound and all that. So it depends on the mic. You should not face the mic to the speaker, because then both they are like India and Pakistan, they don't talk to each other, तो आवाज़ कर देते हैं लोग, right? So the lot of things are there, but we are not getting into all that now. Thank you for that question, Dilip. Nevertheless, we will answer that in a different way in this next session also. Not an issue. Any other suggestions? Thank you, Mr. Dilip. Thank you. Any other suggestions or feedback कि कैसा रहा ये session? Was it useful? And things like that.
Sir, it was very useful, sir.
Okay. Madam, I always say, मेरा भी ये तरीका है कहने का कि it is like teaching you swimming in a classroom.
Yes, sir.
It is like teaching you swimming in a classroom or teaching you bicycling in a classroom. आपको तो पूल पे तो आना ही पड़ेगा, and that is from session number 5 and 6, 5 or 6 whatever, right? We'll take it as it comes. तो वहाँ पे तो आपको गा के सुनाना पड़ेगा. We'll all give you feedback, we'll give you constructive feedback, all of us will improve better, and then many of us will start doing individual programs. At the end we will also have a small show of ourselves, जहाँ पे we'll have a serial number कि so and so will sing song number 1, so and so will sing song number 8, etc. And then we'll try to have our own program जहाँ पे मुझे इतना बातचीत नहीं करना पड़ेगा. I'll be the quiet person. I will only be giving feedback and listening to everything. तो मेरा अभी जो काम है, एक और सेशन के बाद मेरा काम तो ख़त्म हो गया, मेरा ड्यूटी ख़त्म होने वाला है, तो ये आपका ड्यूटी अभी शुरू हो जाएगा. So thank you very much. Thank you for being so patient. It is always a pleasure to talk about this subject because it is so much इतना इंटरेस्ट है हम सबको, एंड ऑल ऑफ अस आर सो पैशनेट कि बहुत मज़ा आता है, वेरी डियर टू अस, एंड वी डोंट रियलाइज कि 7 बजने वाले हैं, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा.
Sorry for disturbing, sir. Do you want me to share the Sonu Nigam's video?
हाँ जी, सॉरी, यस प्लीज
Sonu Nigam's video?
हाँ. हाँ, you can. नहीं, we have all seen it ना, so there is no need to share it now. बाद में करेंगे, next program में करेंगे. अच्छा, Archana, you are talking about the second video.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, see, gentlemen and ladies, I always over prepare for my sessions so that we are never short of any material. तो मैंने एक और वीडियो भेज चुका हूँ मैं अर्चना जी के पास, which is also about Sonu Nigam telling us a few things, but he has already shared a few things. We will start next session with that perhaps, so that we listen to that also. Okay?
Correct,
So thank you very much. Respect your time. Namaskar.
Ram Ram
Super,
sir.
sir.
Jai Hind.
Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Super,
Thank you very
Jai
much.
Hind.
Sabko
Thank
Ram
you,
Ram.
everybody. Thank you.
Ram Ram.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very nice session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Super, sir.
नमस्कार शर्मा जी, नमस्कार, बहुत
Namaskar.
बढ़िया रहा।
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
राम राम।
Always, always. Thank you, sir. Thank
शर्मा जी हमेशा की तरह जो हैगा वो
you. जरूर, sir. Thumbs up.
यस थम्स अप, आपकी वजह
Taste
से
the
बड़ी
thunder.
एनर्जी आ जाती है अंदर।
Sir, thumbs up, taste the thunder, sir. चलिए, okay,
Okay,
bye,
sir.
bye.
राम राम।
Thank you.